It's not the weapon, Flamehair. It's the wielder. Welcome to Legends, a series that delves into the lore within Horizon Zero Dawn, a world with an abundance of powerful and moving history begging to be explored. Though a primitive tribal world, the exposure to highly advanced technology has left Horizon's populace in an incredibly unique position. A blend of ancient and futuristic advancements not only shape the societies and everyday tools of these people, but also shape the weaponry of the various tribes. So today, we will begin an exploration into the various weapons we see in the game, both playable and not. To be clear, we will not be delving into the stats or strategy, but rather be focusing on the historical parallels and in-game lore concerning these individual pieces, beginning with the melee weapons, and the one that we are most accustomed to, the Norris Spear. Though a rather straightforward weapon, its simplicity is completely in line with the overarching belief system of the Nora as a whole. Remaining as far removed as possible from the cursed metal world of the Old Ones, the tribe never put much effort into refining the skill of metalworking. Instead, they have become quite adept at taking existing components of hunted machines and adapting them to a desired purpose, unlike the Karja and Asaram, whose melee weapons appear to be more of a forged variety. The Norris Spear is comprised of native woods and the plasteel plating of the machines itself, serving for both combat and hunting, as are the dual responsibilities of a Nora Brave. Though Aloy is unable to do this, the lore tells us that some hunters have even attached power cells to their spears in hopes of becoming more efficient in bringing down their chosen prey. If ever traveling in the Sacred Land, you would be hard-pressed to find a brave without a bow and their spear. More out of necessity than spiritual belief, the many bandit clans that populate the world implement a similar strategy in their weapon development. Without the proper resources and knowledge to cast their own weapons, they too harvest the plasteel of machines, crafting them into crude hatchets and blades. Some going as far as fastening cloth and metal to their wrists to cut instead of bludgeon. Though ill-made, they more than serve their intended purpose, and have been the cause of much hardship and strife throughout a weakened sacred land, and all those unable to stand against them. Much like their neighbors to the south, the Banuk hunter too favors the spear as their chosen close-quarters weapon. Though not encumbered by the stigma of technology as the Nora, but rather their lack of interest in the ways of the Old Ones has left them with relatively little knowledge in advanced metalworking. Though they do tinker with machine technology, the fruits of those labors are more reflected in their ranged arsenal rather than their close-quarters counterparts. This except in the case of Silen's Lance, as those shamans dedicated to the blue light were able to use their knowledge to take the already impressive piece to greater heights. In the harsh lands of the Cut, where the hunt can be difficult, the spear is instrumental in the Banuk way of life. Which brings us to the Karja, whose advanced society, though not to the scope of the Asaram, has tapped into the ability to work metal. This can be seen in perhaps the most prevalent melee weapon used by the Sundom's military, the Karja battle axe. Standing taller than the average soldier, this weapon is the mainstay of those who walk in the light and in shadow. With relatively little metalworking required to produce, it makes sense that this would be the most prevalent weapon to be used by the foot soldiers of the tribe. But this is not the only weapon at the disposal of those chosen by the Sun, as it would appear that the higher up your position within the Karja ranks, the more labor-intensive weapons we see carried. Certain kestrels and Karja generals such as Uthid carry short swords similar to a Roman gladius, and finally, the ornate and refined cutlass-style blade carried by Sun King Avad and accompanies many statues of his late father, Jiran, perhaps an ongoing symbol of the monarchy. Without the ability to mass manufacture these weapons on an early industrial level, it fits that those farther up the hierarchy would be seen with weapons requiring a more skilled craftsman to produce. Additionally, these weapons have been made with the sole intention of warfare at their heart, as the Karja have a designated standing army. They have also been seen to have ornate blades and daggers, but the trend remains the same. The higher the position, the finer the weapon. Which brings us to those who call the claim their home, the Asaram. With their fascination with the world of those who came before, seeking to understand the great machine they feel the world to be, their abilities to harness ancient technology and artfully work the forge is far beyond their contemporaries. With their aptitude towards striking the anvil, it's no surprise that the Asaram weapon of choice is the Warhammer. Though a hefty piece of work, no matter where it falls, devastation is soon to follow. The chosen companion of the Asaram vanguard and many a freebooter, these imposing weapons show strength far before they ever have to take a swing, and have played a pivotal role in the liberation of Meridian once the walls were breached. In comparison to the vast array of ranged weapons we see in Horizon, the variety of close-quarter weapons remains relatively small. Hopefully we will not only be able to see more melee variety in the sequel, but are able to engage with them as well. And that brings our journey to an end. If you'd like to see more content like this, likes and shares are always appreciated, and if you really like what we're doing at the channel, come join our community and hit that subscribe button. Also consider supporting the channel on Patreon to help us create new series and to supply more quality content just like this. Check out the link in the description. The topic for today's video came from one of you, our awesome subscribers, so if you have a great idea or interesting question, let us know in the comments down below. And until next time, thanks for watching, and keep questing.